Oh, let's see if this, you know what? I got a way to do this time so I don't have to keep talking. Let's see. Did I just pan this thing? Ah, there we go. Okay. Okay. Shut up. There we go. And just want to test the chat real quick. Okay. All right. Wow. It's actually flying this time. Okay. So. Welcome to Dropping In at Pipeline Audio. This is episode 59, I think. Holy crap. And I'm calling it 5G NME. And let's see. So, first of all, I hope you're okay. We've seen a little bits of good news and lots of bits of horrible news lately, but maybe we're getting better. We're getting there. How productive are you being? Like, I'm trying to keep a schedule, trying to get a lot of stuff done. We're doing a lot with the plugin stuff, thankfully, which is interesting. But the other day I was bringing in a small refrigerator and I cut my fingertips up, so I can't really even play guitar. And yeah, that's my productivity. I noticed that a lot of things that I really thought were going to drop off are actually economically doing really well, which is strange to me, but I'm glad to see it. Man, it could be a whole lot worse, and I know it is a whole lot worse for a lot of people, so I am not going to complain here. So, of course, there's some idiotic 5G stupidity and conspiracy theories. I see that there's places where people are setting fire to 5G cell phone towers, thinking that it's bringing them the coof. Yeah, people are crazy. You always notice, like, it's the musicians, I mean, it always is, right? We got these, the anti-science stuff, the anti-GMO stuff, the conspiracy theories, the organic stuff. Did I say anti-vaccine again? And man, you always see them involved in multi-level marketing schemes and stuff. Why is our industry so open? Is that a good word? Open to that? Like Michael Shermer says, keep an open mind, but not so open that your brains fall out. But that's our industry, right? Yeah, it's really crazy. And this is why we see all these constant things about, DAW summing, the different DAWs sound different. Mic preamps, spend $1 bajillion because the mic preamps sound so different. And really why we get, all these Tonewood myths, right? We got, it's this guitar, like I always call out, so here's this noob, buys a brand new guitar, wants to put some hotter pickups in it because he wants, more output out of his guitar. And somebody just nail him. Hey, that's a mahogany guitar. You can't put that kind of pickup in a mahogany guitar. But you know what? Oh man, am I going to get this flagged for the Tonewood debate? Somebody's going to DMCA flag me or something. So you know what? I'm just going to leave that alone. But music, it just seems prime for magical thinking and goofiness like that. And yeah, I tell you how many bands and how many guitar players and how many fellow audio engineers who ought to know better are sending me junk about how 5G is causing the bug. I don't even, can we even say the V word right now, YouTube or Google? So that 5G is causing the problem that's shut down the world right now. But yeah, that's our industry. Those are our friends, right? Let's see. Oh, I want to show you, we have a AIX DSP intuition compressor. A lot of updates are coming pretty soon. I'm hoping not to break all your projects that you're working on right now if you're already running it, but let's give you a quick heads up. I'm going to play a drum loop here, hopefully. Let's see. There is a drum loop. Let's see if this breaks something. So first of all, there's a makeup gain knob, okay? And that's going to be before the spectrum display, so you'll actually be able to see what its effects are, even if you're running, parallel, try and wet, whatever. But if you see this little yellow button here, is A. I'm going to turn down the threshold here. So that is an automatic gain compensation. So actually Warren Heward asked for that, and so he's getting it. He actually everybody's been asking for this makeup gain knob, so but I think he did too. So, and aside from that, we're gonna have, this is gonna be a drop down, and we're gonna have a hard limiter, so you can clip it. It's gonna be after the output gain slider, so you can slam right into it if you want. That's going to be a zero latency, just straight up clipper, or it's going to be like this tubey kind of, oh man, yeah, I just said TOOB, fire me. Glenn Fricker actually asked for a soft limiter, so we're going to put that too. So that's that is going to be new in the AIX DSP intuition compressor, and hopefully there's gonna be some other stuff going on there. So there you go for that. What else did I have here? Yeah, so many people are doing remote teaching, recording at home, collaborating with other people. Like we showed last weekend, I think I talked a little bit about it. Ninjam has a lot of updates. Justin Frankel has not forgotten everybody. And that's why he should be running for president for 2020. I'm going to keep saying that. So, if you're not familiar with Ninjam, it's something that lets you play along with other people, other musicians. He calls it fake time collaboration software. But, so a lot of people want to, we're seeing all these virtual concerts and stuff, and I'm pretty sure there's a way to do that with Ninjam. I think we should really work on that sometime this week. Sorry about that. So I really want to know, what are you guys using for your setups? Because I'm constantly getting questions and emails and stuff about how do we do this? How do you, a lot of people are recording at home for the first time. A lot of businesses are doing virtual meetings for the first time. A lot of businesses are doing multimedia for the first time. And, so that's what is it, home recording, business multimedia, podcasts, of course, yeah, like we said, remote teaching, and your virtual concerts. So, I think there's a couple things you really need. You need an interface, right? And man, there's still so much confusion. Anybody who wants to clear this up, go for it, on whether or not, the OS X, you constantly hear with the OS X stuff. And we were just talking about this, I think, last week, that allegedly you don't need drivers for OS X. And yet all the good stuff I see, they're still downloading software. It's still very confusing to me on the OS X stuff, but I do see, like, RME's got their own drivers. But you always see, don't worry about what interface you get on OS X because you don't need drivers in it anyway. I don't think that's true in any way, shape, or form. And back when we used to watch those benchmarks and stuff, there was a huge difference. It seemed like the same ones that were good on PC were good on OS X. The same ones that couldn't run at low latencies on PC couldn't run at low latencies on OS X. The same ones that couldn't run a lot of effects without taxing the CPU on PC were the same on OS X. So I think you still need to get, what I say is, check, see if there's an actual ASIO driver for your interface that you're looking at. Even if you're going to be running it on OS X, I think that's a good indicator on whether or not that thing's going to give you trouble or not. So, there's a lot of stuff that's around $100 that seems pretty good. If all you need is 2 channels. There's a lot of confusion with the Behringer stuff. And for the hype stuff, a lot of the same stuff that people hype all the time, a lot of the same interfaces, run the same drivers from the same company that makes the ones for Behringer. But there are Behringers that don't come with ASIO drivers. I would stay away from them. And those are going to be the ones that show that, you can download ASIO for all, which is awesome. But again, you're going to have way better luck on the ones that have actual ASIO drivers. There's a lot of Behringers. There's a lot of Focusrites. There's the PreSonus stuff, which is good. I do worry that PreSonus doesn't always support their older hardware. Of course, I don't think anybody's king of that the way RME is. There's some new Motus out there that supposedly are testing pretty well. Low channel count USB Motu interfaces. But, there's really good bundles for Focusrite and stuff, and I think those will be fine for you. Just make sure, like I say, make sure they come with real ASIO drivers. Most of them, make sure they come with what you need. Most of them have an instrument input at this point. I think the Behringers do, the 202 HD or 204 HD, whatever it's called, and on up. The Focusrites all have instrument inputs as far as I know. The Zooms, I think all do. The Zoom interfaces. The UAC2 is really good. I think the other ones are too. Steinberg UR series are pretty cheap and good. I think there's just a lot of stuff you can get. And I would appreciate, listen, for the guys who are out there helping everybody out for free at this point, please have a decent interface because it makes it so much. It's yes, you can figure out a way to make other things work, but really it would be much easier for us if you got one of these ones that at least has a decent ASIO driver. But like I said, there's a lot of these that are pretty good. Let's see. So the other parts of your home setup, I think you need a DAW, and obviously I'm going to be partial to Reaper for a whole lot of reasons. And I'm telling you, doing tech support now for every single DAW out there for our plugins, it makes me appreciate Reaper so much more. It's just mind blowing. Yeah. But there's plenty of stuff out there. There's Audacity for free. There's Cakewalk for free. Not necessarily that I want to support that, but they give you a lot of good stuff for free, and it's probably going to be fine if you can figure out how to run it. We're having a lot of trouble with VST3, as is everybody else. And if you're denying that, go ahead. But, we say about deniers. So that's your DAW. So you got your interface, make sure you got ASIO drivers, simple enough. You got your DAW, whichever one you want to use. If you want to use Reaper, I will help you if I can. There's plenty of other resources for that. There are plenty of people that will help you whatever your DAW is. I don't tend to like the ones that make you pay extra for the basics, like running VST or plugins or whatever. Sorry out there to the DAWs that make you do that. I don't recommend stuff like GarageBand, where it's going to be very hard to collaborate with other people. And yes, I know I'm going to get all kinds of tarred and feathered for that one. But as somebody who has to do that for a living sometimes, I really don't like programs that don't let you collaborate. And I think there's a version of Pro Tools that you can get for free, but I think, again, that it's crippled. I would, it's up to you if you want to use that kind of stuff. But if you want my help, well, actually, you guys all know that I'm going to help you regardless of what you're doing. If you want to make it easy on yourself, I would really recommend Reaper. Okay, sorry to anybody who, whatever. And I've given praise to a lot of programs out there. I'm just saying it's going to be easier for me to help you with that one. Ergonomics. You're not going to get much done. I don't care if you're a musician or making podcasts or whatever. If you make it hard on yourself to get your audio set up and running, you're not going to do it as often as you should. And you're just going to kind of want it to be over with. Ergonomics are important. Your chairs, how your mics are. How hard is it for you to turn on the system? How hard is it to get you up and playing? Right now, if you have an instrument input on a 2-channel USB interface, it's going to be pretty quick and easy for you to get up and running. So keep it that way. Your stands, whatever, a guitar stand, a cheap one, whatever. It's actually going to make it quicker and easier for you, I think, to have your guitar sitting right there for you to grab it. Your mic stand, if you can tilt your mic towards you real easy, there you go. It's probably some thought needs to go into acoustic treatment, and man, I know you guys can, it's easy to get carried away, but it's impossible to do too much when it comes to that. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think you can ever put too much bass trapping in a small room, or probably any room for that matter. Let's see. Sorry, sorry for the typing. Let's see. So the other part is, so acoustic treatment, you might be in a situation where the mic is just blasting back at you. There's all kinds of trouble with acoustics. And of course, there's the noise to your neighbors, from your neighbors, from the dogs, whatever. You're going to have to deal with that. And that's hard, because if you're stuck at home in a quarantine, you have the room that you're given. So it's a little tricky, but you're going to have to figure it out. Most of the time, this foam stuff's not going to do much good for you. These screens you put behind mics, they kind of help. As far as I'm concerned, they do help with some of the reflections and stuff. It's not a bad idea. But if you can keep from really hard surfaces bouncing around and too much boominess, and people make fun of guys for putting, taking their mattress off their bed and sticking it up against the wall. But I'm telling you, I've heard that sound pretty good. So give some thought to your acoustics. There's a lot of people who can help with that. So let them know. Speakers, I know how much it seems like it sucks, but like even at the studio nowadays, I run 5-inch speakers. I think they're like Yamaha HSM5s or whatever those are called, HS50s or something. They're 5-inch speakers. I do have a sub in here, but honestly, I do most of my work on these 5-inch speakers. And when you're at home and you're in a small room, it's so easy to wreck everything with bass problems. So I'm gonna. I know everybody's going to kill me for this, but I'm going to tell you, the smaller the better for speakers at home, I would think. And you're much less likely to make everybody around you mad. That said, a lot of guys are running headphones, and at home I am running headphones, and I'm trying the SonarWorks thing. I've been trying the Morphit thing. So these are these are software programs that try and make your headphones sound like speakers or flatten them out or something. And I'm pretty happy with this stuff. Let me know what you guys are using. But that might be what you have to do at home. And so on the collaboration end, I know we keep talking about Ninjam, but my brother was asking how they can do it on phones or whatever. And I can think of a couple hacky workarounds, but is there something like Ninjam for a phone, or do you have a way of getting on the Jam Farm with the phone? Or maybe play a computer in the background that's going to be the master timekeeper or whatever, and then do it fake time like Ninjam does and put it all back together later. I'm not sure how you would do that. How do you do that? I got somebody who was asking about what's the difference in sound quality, or why would you use TRS instead of XLR? I think this has come up a couple times already too. Let's see. So, between, XLR is like your standard microphone connector. It's a 3-pin connector. There's a male and a female. And, people, let's see, argue forever over whether or not it's pinned too hot, right? A TRS is a tip ring sleeve 1/4-inch cable. Looks like your guitar jack. Not a 1/4-inch cable, a 1/4-inch connector. It looks like your guitar jack, but it's got another terminal on it. So there's a tip, which is your normal tip on your guitar jack. A ring, which is one more terminal, and then your sleeve, which is your regular ground on your guitar jack. And so it's capable of carrying a balanced signal just like an XLR can. And they're both capable of carrying the same signal. So there's not going to be there shouldn't be a difference in sound quality between the two. One reason that people point out a lot is that when you're carrying phantom power, XLR is going to be a whole lot safer, because you think about, as you're plugging in a TRS jack into a female TRS jack, let's say that's carrying phantom power, you're going to run your tip, then your ring through the same signals, and some weird stuff could happen. That being said, I ran a studio for a while on 1/4-inch TRS patch bays, and I had phantom power, and I was okay, but it was a little bit nerve-wracking. Also, it's anybody who has to run headphones around studios, you're going to see just how much more of a pain it is to extend a 1/4-inch cable than it is to extend an XLR cable. Those are some mechanical reasons why you would possibly want the XLR. But in theory, they can sound exactly the same, and they should. And one of the other things to watch out for is a lot of times on combo jacks, Neutrik makes those female XLR that also can carry a female 1/4-inch signal. A lot of times those are wired so that it's just tip and sleeve, your standard guitar cable, guitar connector that's in the combo jack. So be careful that that's not the case. That can be hard to test for as well. Often those things will be 6 decibels lower, and they'll be unbalanced. And so that's why you want to watch out for that. So another thing, okay. I don't know if you know what code signing is, but it's so that you don't get that smart screen warning you're an evil person putting viruses on people's computer. That it's like an extortion racket that you have to pay for if you're making software, so that you don't get that smart screen on Windows, and I guess some other kind of thing on OS X. We paid for it, and yet still we are constantly getting flagged by Norton Antivirus and Avast. And at this point, this seems like an extortion racket for real. Like these antivirus programs, You see from a lot of developers that they just constantly flag anything that says DLL on it. And then later on, they went to flag VST3. Listen, how many viruses out there? Oh boy, I don't want to give this to the wrong people, but really, how many times have you heard of hackers, putting stuff on VST3s, of the few people who even run that stuff? I don't think that would be your big virus target, but who knows? Maybe it is. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but it seems to me like these companies, these antivirus companies, seem to go out of their way to find stuff. Companies that are probably too small to really put up a big fight, so they're just going to pay the extortion fee and go and flag them. So stop flagging me, Norton. Stop flagging me, Avast. And you guys who know me know this wouldn't be my first time going against a gigantic company and winning. So stop it. I'm asking you, please, Norton Antivirus and Avast Antivirus, please stop it now. Okay? And that really brings up something else. You Mac users, you OS X guys, I know you're a giant part of our community. And I have to parse my words carefully because you're my friends and I can't afford to alienate you. But holy crap. It is so difficult, it seems, to do basic file stuff like installing things, validating things, downloading things. It seems like that operating system is just designed to keep you from working, and it drives me nuts. I mean, it's most of our tech support right now. It's not about our products. It's about how OS X handles basic stuff. And okay, I'm really sorry because I used to laugh at my friends who are developers who were constantly complaining about this exact subject. It's like, we only make for PC. I'm like, why? There's plenty of Mac users. Why would you only make this thing for PC? Well, now I understand, and I'm sorry for laughing at you. Because holy crap. I mean, I'm talking the most basic stuff seems very hard. And I think people pay the extra money for Macs because it's, for the most part, this stuff really, as much as I make fun about it, it really does just work. For the most part, you buy a interface, you plug it in, you run your DAW, and your stuff just works. Whereas a Windows, we expect it to be kind of fiddly and you're hammering on it and everything. But the problem really comes when it doesn't just work. Then all of a sudden the stuff that, sucks that you have to do on Windows, but is pretty easy to do, is really hard on Mac. And I don't know how to do it. And turns out that a very big chunk of you Mac guys don't know how to do it either. So, wow. Is there some kind of, if you guys know, let me know. Please let me know. If there's like a YouTube series or some videos out there that show like basic file operations for Mac users, like how to download a file, how to unzip a file, how to install a product, and then maybe if you have to go exploring on the drive, how you would find those things, like a basic video that I could share when people have trouble with this kind of stuff. And the other ones, like where they download things, but then it's missing as soon as they download it. Just some video on that. I found actually Isotope has some really cool articles on that, but some basic videos would be nice if you guys know about it. Let me know. And man, all that said, I don't even know. I know I shouldn't say this, but Logic users, what in the world is up with you guys? I remember Logic being difficult when it was, it was cross-platform. You could run it on Windows, you could run it on Mac, whatever. I thought it would be easier once it was just on Mac, but man, it seems like I know, oh man, most of our problems are coming off of that. So if you guys have especially Logic users, let me know. Do you have and I know there's a ton of you guys out there that help everybody. And so, and I know that there are plenty of sequencists that will never, ever, ever give up Logic for any reason. And so I know, I'm not saying it's a bad program or something, but if you Logic users have a video out there for noobs or for newer Logic users or whatever that has some of the basics about installing plugins and using plugins, let me know, because that would be really helpful for us. I think that's really all I had for this week. So hopefully I'll see you guys next week. Hopefully you guys are okay. Yeah, I will see you next week. Bye-bye.